Sudan and Eritrea have agreed to enhance cooperation in security, intelligence and economic sector following a two-day visit to Asmara by Sudan Prime Minister Kamel Idris, and activation of joint political committee and establishment of new economic body will oversee bilateral projects and integration. Planned joint ventures include marine fisheries, gold and oil refineries, and mineral investment. Coordination efforts regarding Sudan's return to the African Union were also confirmed. President Isaias Afwerki reaffirmed Eritrea's support for Sudan's unity and dignity during discussions on region's issues, while Idris expressed gratitude for Eritrea's solidarity amid Sudan's challenges. Eritrea has become Sudan's most supportive neighbor, providing military training and sheltering military assets for drone attacks, showcasing strategic alliance to tackle mutual security concerns and economic opportunities in Red Sea region. Drone and artillery attack by the Rapid Support Forces RSF on the Dar al-Arqam displacement center in Al-Fashir, Sudan resulted in at least 60 fatalities according to the local activists. The RSF assault escalates its siege on the city, which is home to 400 trapped civilians. Eyewitnesses report brutal attacks on civilians, including targeted strikes on hospitals and mosques. The humanitarian situation is dire, with many people unable to access medical care and severe food shortages. Over 1 million have fled Al-Fashir since the conflict began, leaving the city instead described as an open-air morgue. Drone and artillery strikes by the paramilitary support forces on shelter in the Sudanese city of Al-Fashir killed at least 60 people on Friday night and Saturday morning, according to local activities. Al-Fashir is under siege by the RSF as it is struggles to wrest control of army's last stronghold in the Darfur region. The siege has spread hunger and disease in the city, and relentless drone and artillery strikes have hit displacement shelters, mosques and hospitals and clinics. Bodies remain under the rubble and others were burned alive inside the shelter caravans. Children, women and elderly killed in cold blood. The Al-Fashir Resistance Committee said in a statement earlier on Saturday. It said in a later statement that the shelter had been hit twice by drones and 80 times by artillery shells. The Resistance Committee said hundreds of civilians have been killed by the attacks, and residents who spoke to returnees said they had dug bunkers into their homes and neighborhoods for protection. The activist group said the city is losing 30 people on average daily to violence, hunger and disease.
President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council and Commander-in-Chief of the Sudanese Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, offered condolence on the passing of Dr. Muhammad Tahir Ela, former Prime Minister of Sudan, who passed away in Cairo after a long career of dedicated national service. Al-Burhan said the country has lost a patriotic and sincere man, a symbol of national, political and social work in Sudan. We are proud of him as a true Sudanese patriot who rendered great service to his homeland and to the people of Eastern Sudan. The Prime Minister and members of the Government of Hope are mourned by Allah Almighty Dr. Muhammad Tahir Ela, former Prime Minister, who passed away next to his lord in the Arab Republic of Egypt. The deceased was one of the Sudan's sincere sons, was loyal and jealous patriot, devoted his national efforts to serve the country. We belong to Allah and to Him we shall return. Prime Minister Professor Kamel Idris affirmed that government attached to the highest priority to the health sector as one of the key pillars of state building and social stability, stressing the importance of integrating national and international efforts to achieve the desired strategic objectives. Addressing the National Forum of Health Sector Partners organized by the General Directorate of International Health of the Federal Ministry of Health under the theme, The Bridge of Health from Response to Recovery and Sustainability. Professor Idris described the forum as a historic event and one of the key tools contributing to the implementation of Sudan's comprehensive health strategy. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of South Sudan, Ambassador Mandi Samaya, concluded a 3-day official visit to Sudan, during which a joint statement was issued and read by Sudan's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Muhyiddin Salim Ahmed, and his South Sudanese counterpart. During the visit, Minister Samaya conveyed a written message from His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit to His Excellency General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, affirming South Sudan's solidarity with Sudan and its desire to enhance bilateral cooperation across various fields. The history of tourism in Sudan can be broadly divided into pre-colonial, colonial, and post-independence periods, with early attempts at sightseeing beginning in the early 19th century and developing significantly after the establishment of hotels and roads during the colonial era. Following independence, the creation of an official tourism body in 1959 marked a shift towards a national tourism industry. Early beginnings, pre-colonial and early 19th century. Initial intrusion following Napoleon's expedition to Egypt, European interest in the Nile Valley began to increase, though Sudan remained largely unknown as a tourist destination at that time. Early sightseeing after the 1821 Egyptian military campaign, European intrusion into Sudan increased, leading to some initial attempts at sightseeing. Sudan is considered one of the oldest states in the world in the history of the tourism industry. There are many wonderful tourist sites in Sudan, such as historical museums in various Sudanese cities, as well a lot of parks and resorts, also wildlife, in addition to ancient historical archaeological sites. Sudan is considered one of the countries that inserted among the UNESCO list. Sudan has a lot of potentialities as well, many distinguished tourist destinations. So Sudan have a bright future for tourist attraction and amazing tourist destinations. So come to visit Sudan.
The Sudanese Jalabia is the national custom for men in Sudan, expressing the country's rich cultural identity and heritage. It features a variety of designs and colors to suit different regions and occasions, and include traditional accessories such as vest and turban. It began as a simple practical garment for herding and farming, and has evolved into a symbol of national pride and belonging. It originated as a practical simple garment for men suited to primitive life in Sudan, influenced by Arab and African cultures, evolved throughout history with social and economic changes. The fabric used and the designs evolved to become more diverse and luxurious. The design of the Jalabiya varies traditional origin. It originated as a practical simple garment for men, diverse depending on the region and climate, from the desert in the north to the tropical regions in the south. The Jalabiya reflects tribal and social diversity in Sudan. There are different styles that reflect this diversity. The essential accessories that complement the Jalabiya are the vest, the turban, and the markub, its handcrafted shoes. The Jalabiya, along with its accessories, is considered a symbol of Sudanese national identity and expresses pride in cultural belonging. The Jalabiya's current status part of heritage. The Jalabiya is still worn on important occasions such as holiday as a part of tradition. The authentic Sudanese people are keen to wear a new Jalabiya for Eid, reflecting the importance of this outfit on social and religious occasions. The Jalabiya is a symbol of identity and belonging for Sudanese communities abroad, and demand for it is increasing in various countries.
The artist Syed Khalifa was born in 1931 in the village of Al Dibaba in East Nile, Khartoum State, near Ban, Sudan, and his full name is Syed Muhammad Ali Khalifa Al-Amin. He grew up in religious environment, that means religious chanting and the prophetic praises. His father was praises of prophet. He began his education like many son and daughter of his generation in retreat in his village. Syed Khalifa collaborated with a large number of sunspots in Sudan, including Abdul Munaim Abdul Hay. It was Thinking Bana, Hussein Mansour, Lail and Kab, Hassan Abu Al-Aila Hob, Mubarak al-Maqrabi, Conversation of Heart, and Ali Shibeka Nana. Syed Khalifa sang poems in standard Arabic by prominent Sudanese poets such as Idris Jammah, whom he got to know while he was in Egypt, and sang him more than poems, most of which was successful, including Spring of Love, Another, and the Voices of the Sky, as well as by the poet Al-Tijani Yusuf Bashir. The song of Al-Jinn Muhammad Yusuf Musa and Mustafa Salim, The Boy of the Valley, Ismail Khorshid, Hassan Awad Abu Al-Aila, Salah Ahmed Muhammad Saleh, Ismail Hassan, and Muhammad Al-Fayturi. Syed Khalifa was known for the diversity of the color of his art and songs in terms of texted melody, music, and the collection of his songs was formed from romantic songs and the national songs, especially during the period of President Jafar Nimeri, and the heritage songs. Among his national songs are My Country, My Love Country, and Khartoum. He sang to President Jafar Nimeri when the latter enjoyed the popularity of the songs. Shadow like road on the top of your dowry, and in millions we said yes. Syed Khalifa used that compose his songs and he put their music himself, but they also dealt with the number of Sudanese composers and the musicians, including Ismail Abdul Mu'in in Bahri, Muhammad Dafallah and Bashir Abbas and Ali Makki. He used the rhythms of biography, as the Nana, which is the dancing songs. He also known for showing his interaction with his sons during the performance, showing sadness or pleasure in the deficiency of his face, depending on the course of sense, and is also famous for his dancing and the spontaneous movement during his musical performance. Sayyid Khalifa, now a Sudanese singer and composer, gained fame out the Sudan, especially in the Middle East, East Africa, and Egypt, and introduced new colors in Sudanese music presented in Latin America samba music style. Finally, the artist Sayyid Khalifa died on Tuesday, corresponding to July 3, 2001, in Gordon, who was receiving treatment in one of his hospitals.
عزيز الخلق